Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I've done another video and it's close to Halloween. So happy Halloween, and I'm gonna be Bowser for Halloween. So let's do 3 through 5. Let's go. Chapter 3. On the first day of PE at the pool, Coach Jenkins brought me a kickboard and a pair of floaties. Your dad told me you don't know how to swim yet, Mindy, he said. But if you still want to get in the water, you can with these, and I'll keep an eye out for you. And the community pool lifeguards will too. Just be sure to stick to the shallow and try practicing moving around in the water. Hopefully one of these days you can join your classmates in the lap lanes. Besides me, there was only one other kid in our class who couldn't swim. I didn't know him too well, other than the fact that his name was Charlie. Charlie and I moved around in the shallow and with our floaties and kickboards while watching the other kids do laps in the pool. It's day. The water felt nice and warm, but I wished I could be swimming with my classmates. To make things worse, we caught the attention of Brandon and his friends, aka the mean kids. They looked at us and laughed. "Look at those babies over there," Brandon said. "They're not like us, but they can't even swim." Charlie and I glanced at each other. Charlie looked just as sad as I felt. At the end of class, Olly tried to cheer me up. "It's okay, Mindy," she said. "We can't all be good at everything." "Yeah," I replied, "but I'm hoping I'll be able to swim soon." I asked my dad if I could take swim lessons like you suggested, and he said yes. I'm going to get really good at swimming, way better than Brandon and his friend. I must have said the last part too loudly because Brandon heard and came over to where we were standing by the pool with a mean smile on his face. He said, "Oh yeah? You want to bet? Then why don't you race me one of these days? We'll see who's the best swimmer then. That is, if you can manage not to drown." Before I could respond, he and his friends walked away laughing. "Don't listen to him, Mindy," Olly said. "You should focus on learning how to actually swim first. Racing someone when you're not ready is dangerous." I knew my friend was right, but I was still mad at Brandon. He was just so mean. I clenched my fist. I was going to work hard during swim lessons and practice every day. I was going to be an expert at swimming, and then I was going to be Brandon. Chapter 4. Before my first swim lessons at the pool, Dad helped me put on the goggles. The only pair of goggles in the house was Julie's. The goggles were a little too big for me, even when Dad tightened them all the way. Oopsie, I actually skipped the picture. They also had a weird tint that made the entire world look orange when I wore them. The color made me a little dizzy. "Sorry, this was the only thing we could find at the moment, kiddo," Dad said as we got out of the car. We'll have to get you your own pair of goggles soon." I was sad about the goggles, but I knew how lucky I was to be able to sign up for the swim lessons so last minute. It's okay, Dad. It's better than nothing. When we got to the pool, I was really embarrassed to see that most of the kids beginners class were way younger than me. They're around my baby cousin's age, like 6. I scrunched up my shoulders, hoping that no one would make fun of me or ask why I was in this class. Dad must have noticed I was embarrassed because he said, "Sorry, Minnie, the class above this one for older kids seemed a bit too advanced skill-wise for you. Maybe we can move you up to that level once you've covered the basics here." "It's okay, Dad," I said again. "Good luck," Dad said. "I'll be watching from the bleachers." Thanks. I smiled and tried to keep a positive attitude as I approached the pool. But it was really hard, especially when one of the little boys pointed at me and said, "What she's doing here? She's a big kid." And here's the picture. The teacher, Mrs. Wilson, replied, Now, you're never too old to learn how to swim. Everyone here's actually still learning pretty early. Later this evening, I teach a swim class for adults." We all gasped. The little kids faintly stopped staring at me after that. Before any of us got into the water, Mrs. Wilson had us do stretches and other warm-ups. "It's super important to remember not to start swimming as soon as you get to the pool," she said. "It might make you feel self-conscious to hop around and scratch when everyone else is swimming, but we all need to spend some time warming up before we get in the water. Remember, safety first." When we were all done warming up, Mrs. Wilson had us line up and sit along the edge of the shadow and of the pool. We dipped our feet in the water. It felt so nice. Okay, Mrs. Wilson continued as she gave each of us a pair of floaties. "The most important thing to learn when you start off swimming is breathe. Once we get into the water, what we're going to do is hold our breath to make a balloon face before we submerge our heads under the surface." She got into the pool and blew up her cheeks wide so she looked like a buffer fish. Then she stuck her face out of the water. When she came back out, she opened her mouth with a "pa" sound. It looked silly, but it looked kind of fun too. "Now you try," Mrs. Wilson said. One by one, we got into the pool. When it was my turn, I made a balloon face and put my head in the water. Underneath the surface, everything was muffled. My goggles made everything look orange already, but down here they also made things look shimmery and bright. After a few seconds, I lifted my head up again. Like Mrs. Wilson had done, I opened my mouth and said, "Pa!" There were a lot of kids who got it on the first try like me, but some of the little ones weren't too happy. One kid even cried after putting their head underwater. After making sure she was okay, Mrs. Wilson told the rest of us, "Good! Now let's try doing this a few more times." We made our little faces, put our heads in the water and surfed while saying "pa" again and again. "Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but add bubbles this time," said Mrs. Wilson. "Make bubbles with your mouth for 5 seconds before coming up to say "pa." But by the time we finished, I felt really impatient. I signed up for this class to learn how to swim, not make bubbles. I raised my hand. "Yes, Minnie," said Mrs. Wilson. When are we going to learn actual swimming?" I asked. Mrs. Wilson smiled. "Probably not until the next class. Today we're going to focus on breath work and floating on our stomachs. Both are essential to being safe in the water." I frowned. Breathing and floating didn't seem that important to me, but I trusted her. She was an expert after all. About halfway into class, Mrs. Wilson took each of us one by one out into the water. She guided us out on the surface with our arms spread wide and taught us how to float. When it was my turn, I was afraid I sank or drowned. That was how I felt when I first had swim lessons. But then I remembered to blow my bubbles for 5 seconds and lift my head. Soon I felt my body rise to the surface like it was supposed to. "Excellent job, Mindy," Mrs. Wilson exclaimed. "You're making really good progress." Floating was not swimming, but it was cool to feel my body being lifted by the water. I was one step closer to becoming a swim champion and being brilliant. Actually, floating is swimming because if you're about to drown, you can float so that you don't drown. Here's the picture on the last page. Chapter 5. In the next few classes, we learned how to float more and probably move in the water. Soon, I was ready to go up and down the channel and on my own. Well, sort of. I still had a foam noodle in front of me, and Mrs. Wilson was within arms reach in case anything happened. But I was kicking. Wait. But I was kicking by myself and breathing correctly too. Focusing on holding my breath for 5 seconds before turning my head to take a breath on my side. I slowly but surely moved across the water. "That's it, Mindy," said Mrs. Wilson. "Now let's add our arms. It's okay if you forget to move them from time to time, but try lifting your arm one by one. Remember, up into the sky, back into the water, and to your side. Up into the sky, back into the water, and to your side." To help myself remember to do everything, I counted as I did 5 times and lift up my right arm to take a breath. Then I did the same on my left side. Up to the sky, back into the water, and to my side. Up to the sky, back into the water, and to my side. My head hurt a little from trying to remember all the steps, but it was still fun. Mrs. Wilson had made me go all the way to the opposite end of the pool and then back. By the third time, I didn't have to think about what my body was doing and as much could think more about other stuff. As I swam, I imagined all sorts of funny things, like what would happen if Theodore jumped into the pool to swim with me, and how nice it would be to be able to swim with my friend Olly during PE. Our house didn't have a pool, but Olly's did. Here's the picture. Last page. Maybe one day we could all go over to her house for a swimming party, and I could go on. Maybe one day we could go. Maybe one day we could go all. Maybe one day we could all go over to her house for a swimming party, and I could go on the North Coast trip at Key West with Dad and Julie, or even swim with manatees and dolphins. The little kids didn't have to do as many laps, but since she thought I was ready, Mrs. Wilson had me do 4 laps total. By the last one, I was pretty tired, but it kept me going to think about all the fun I would have with my friends and family. I was going to be a whole new world after I learned how to swim. And also, here's a subscriber note. If I get over 50 subscribers, I will get slimed. So make sure you subscribe and like.